All right, we have made it to our fifth and final AP Reach team commitment. And this, I would say, is probably the most important commitment, right? Like, if you're not committed to serving, you probably shouldn't become a missionary, because that really encapsulates the heart of a missionary, not just the heart of a missionary, but the heart of Christ. You know, Jesus himself said, I have come not to be served, but to serve. And that has to be our heart posture too, is one of serving. What's been your experience in staying committed to serving?
I think it really comes down to, again, remembering why I'm here. What am I here to do? I am here to preach Christ. I'm here for the glory of God. And I think having that as your focus really sets the tone for the rest of ministry. I'm not here to, even though I want to accomplish great things, I want to do all these things, I might have all these ideas, I am first and foremost here for the gospel of Christ. So whatever is needed, whether it be something that I'm really excited to do, whether it be something that I'm comfortable doing or have done before, or something maybe even more mundane. Like, for example, when I am at the church, I love the kids. I love the kids ministry, and I love talking with the parents and getting to know and having those deep conversations and really touching the children's lives in the English classes that I do, and outside of those, getting to know. But I really do not like cleaning the church, which is another role that I have to do. You know, and one of my roles is the bathroom. It's the bathroom. It's not really fun to clean the bathrooms, but you know, everybody is serving, and everybody has a place where they need to serve. And I'm also not alone. I'm there. There are other people who are cleaning the sanctuary. There are other people who are doing the floor. Just because I'm on the bathroom doesn't mean I'm by myself. Other people around me are serving in their own capacity. So just remembering, I'm here for the glory of God, for the gospel.
That's so good. And I think it's important, like you pointed out, to remove our expectations of what it means to serve. You know, especially for those of us who have had experience back home serving in ministry, coming again with those expectations for it to look the same, you're setting yourself up for failure. And it's again from the place of surrender and saying, God, I'm here to do whatever it is that you want me to do, to serve at any capacity. And again, that's something that God started teaching me before we got to the field. You know, when I looked at my leaders and the team that we were coming to join, God made it apparent to me that, you know, we're coming to help relieve a lot of pressure off of these leaders who had been in a lot of areas working and wearing many hats on their own. And so I'm coming and I'm taking as many hats off of this leader so they can do what they've been called to do, and so that I can become the leader that God intends me to be too. And I think it's so important to have a good attitude, like you said, regardless of what area you're serving in. You know, whether you're taking out the trash, cleaning a bathroom, putting furniture together, maybe you're doing kids church and you got some crazy kids, things like that. It's having the same attitude even when it's not that area of servanthood that you prefer or that you enjoy. And that goes, you know, back to being flexible, back to being teachable.
I think this comes back to the topic of humility again, and being able to step back from yourself and to see, what does my team need? What does the community around me need? If there's a place that, you know, has a need, fill it. So I heard this before from one of my mentors: find a need and fill it. That's really what we're here to do. We're here to be in the spaces that don't have someone to be in. So I think having that humble attitude of, you know, I'm here to be a place where I need to be, whether it be a place where I feel like it's, you know, something that I am comfortable with or something that I enjoy doing, or it's a place that's a little bit more mundane. And I think having that humble attitude to just serve where you are needed is really important.
And I think too, you know, being a good servant also includes having enough awareness to recognize needs before maybe your leaders addressing them, right? Like for instance, you see the trash is full of something, like taking that out, being on top of things to the point where you're looking actively for opportunities to serve and not just waiting until someone comes along and gives you a task. Man, those are the best team members to have, is the ones that are looking for areas to serve, right?
Yeah, taking initiative is so, so important. I remember there was a time when I was at my church that I'm at now, but we were having the issue with leaves falling everywhere. There were pine needles everywhere. And in the community, it was very important to keep the space clean. For me, I really wasn't concerned about it, but I started to actually see, my pastor get concerned about it. She's like, oh, there's so many pine needles and things. And, she wasn't always able to do those things. So I decided that in the mornings I was going to wake up and, just sweep and try to get those things off. It was a lot of work. But in the end, we also had we're connected to a mansion, and the mansion's owner came out and he had his thing and he was getting ready to do it. He was like, oh, wow. Thank you so much. And he was like, had his little thing, and I was just like, I'm just trying to pick up the pine needles. So it ended up being a really cool interaction with him that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what's really important about being committed to serving too, and what will really help you, is reminding yourself, although we all receive individual calls to be missionaries and come serve in a field, and each of us receive those calls in different ways, we're still serving the same purpose. We're serving the same calling that Jesus has put forth to us in the Great Commission, right? And when we look at it as, this isn't just my purpose of serving, but it's my team's, it's my field that I'm in, and working in unity with everyone and being strategic in your approach to the way that you serve goes such a long way. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, we hope that this has been beneficial to you, and we just want to encourage you to be intentional, be prayerful over these 5 AP Reach team commitments. And if you do, you're going to be such a valuable asset to the team when you get here. And Beverly, can you imagine a team that really has these 5 commitments in their heart and that are trying to live it out? I mean, they'd be able to accomplish so much here in Asia Pacific.
It would be such a blessing to have people like that here serving.
Yeah, and guys, we can't wait for you to get here to the field. We're excited to see you answer the call that God has laid upon you, and we just want to say God bless and thanks for watching.
God bless.